Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay. So second verse is Brahmaivaham jagatcha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam sarvam chaitad vidyaya trigunaya shesham maya kalpitam इत्थम यस्य दृढ़ा मति सुखतरे नित्ये परे निर्मले चांडालोस्तु सतु द्विजोस्तु गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम ब्रह्म एव अहम इदम ब्रह्मैवाहम इदम ब्रह्म एव अहम इदम जगच्च सकलम जगच्च सकलम चिन्मात्र विस्तारितम चित मात्र विस्तारितम. I was breaking the word because there are a lot of sandhis here. Brahma eva aham idam jagat cha sakalam chit matra vistaritam sarvam chaitad avidyaya chaitad avidyaya. So cha sarvam cha etat avidyaya trigunaya ashesham maya kalpitam इत्थम यस्य दृढ़ः मति सुखतरे नित्ये परे निर्मले चांडालोस्तु सतु द्विजोस्तु गुरुर इति एषा मनीषा मम. So the word meanings are Brahma eva aham idam jagat cha sakalam chit matra vistaritam. This Brahman that we refer to, eva aham, I am that Brahman, and this jagat cha sakalam chit matra vistaritam, it is an expansion of my consciousness alone. This whole jagat, this whole world that we experience is an expansion of my consciousness. Sarvam cha etat avidyaya, everything that is here, it is born out of avidya, ignorance. Trigunaya, trigunaya is all it is born out of the three gunas, rajas, sattva, rajas, tamas. Ashesham, ashesham means entirely. Everything that I am experiencing here as me, the world, and everybody else, it has been created maya kalpitam. It has been created by me. Created by me, maya kalpitam. Itham yasya dridha. Thus, one whose mind is established in this truth, dridha matihi sukhatare, in this sukhama, this knowledge, this joyful knowledge, the one whose mind is established nitye pare nirmale, it means always established in this truth. Such a person, be he a guru or a chandala, a dvija or brahmana or a chandala, he is my guru. He's saying that one whose mind or perception is established in the fact that, what is that? What is the fact that it is established in? That I am Brahman, Brahma eva aham, and idam jagat, this whole jagat is chit matra vistaritam. It's an expansion of my consciousness, and everything here has been created by me, maya kalpitam. Everything here, sarvam etad, sarvam cha etad avidyaya trigunaya, it is through avidya, through ignorance, through the combination of the three gunas, entirely ashesham maya kalpitam. Everything here is created by me. Now, what is this aham that he is referring to? What is this me that he is referring to? Needs to be seen in context. Okay. And as I said earlier, the Manisha Panchakam, each of the verse is looked at as one Mahavakya. So the previous verse that we saw, the first verse, where it talks about Brahmadi Pipili Kanta. So from Brahma up until the Pipilika. So everything is consciousness. This is what is explained in the first verse. So that there is a verse in Aitareya Upanishad in Rig Veda called Prajnanam Brahma. This is a Mahavakya. Prajnanam Brahma means consciousness alone is Brahman. This was established in the first. So that's the first Mahavakya in the first verse. Second Mahavakya is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad of Yajurveda. And that Vakya is Aham Brahmasmi. So this is a popular verse we have heard. This is Aham Brahmasmi. The next verse also we have heard, which is popular, Tattvamasi. So the next verse, the third verse in Manisha Panchakam refers to, or it is an explanation of the third Mahavakya, or it has a reference to the third Mahavakya, which is Tattvamasi. That is from Chandogya Upanishad, Samaveda. And the fourth one, Ayam Atma Brahma. It is from Mandukya Upanishad in Atharvana Veda. So the four verses make a reference to the four Mahavakyas. And this one, the second one, is particularly in reference to Aham Brahmasmi. So if you look at the verse itself, it will appear a little superfluous, because when somebody is coming and saying, I am Brahman, then what do you do with that information? I am Brahman, okay. Somebody comes and says, I am Brahman, then next thing is, that's all right. Can you fix my loan problem? Because we always look at utility. Nothing, it doesn't make sense. Aham Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi doesn't make sense to us at all. Because Aham Brahmasmi has no utility value. You being joyful, does that have a utility value? You being peaceful, does it have a utility value? You being settled and established within you, does it have a utility value? We may say that, oh, if I am calm and peaceful, I can do this work better. I can do the tasks that I've been given in a better way, more efficient way. We always look at being present, being peaceful, being calm as something that must add to my ability to operate in the world. Utility. We always look at utility. Can we just look at ourselves to say that I am here, that is all? There is no utility for it. What is the utility for a flower blossoming? What is the utility for a sapling, a small sapling? You see, you put some seed and then suddenly you see a small stalk coming out and one or two leaves starting to come out. What is the utility of it? Suddenly the clouds, you see, it creates some formation, looks very beautiful. Suddenly the sky will look, from the setting sun, it will look purple in color, bluish, purplish, very beautiful. What is the utility of beauty? Hari Om Shri Vidya. What is the utility? Now the problem is, we have not trained ourselves to think beyond what is my value to the world. Several of us believe that I exist has to be of use to somebody, if to me and to somebody else. This is a good thing in a social context, but existentially, fundamentally, what is the value? If I am there, they are getting this. If I am not there also, they'll get what they're getting. Somehow we give a huge importance to the utility of our existence. And it's a very sad thing, because if you don't find utility, then we go into depression. We are unable to, if nobody is wanting me, it's an extremely depressing condition, correct? Nobody wants me is a very depressing condition. That is why a lot of people in the West keep a cat or a dog, some pet they will keep, because at least that animal wants you. It'll come to you running for food, for shelter, for care. So we create an environment where we want to be wanted. To be wanted is an okay thing, but it should not become a disease. To be wanted becomes, when it becomes so overwhelming that that becomes the purpose of your life, it is a mental condition, an unstable mental condition. We have to get out of that. So when in this verse he's saying Brahmaivahamidam jagatcha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam, he's saying I am Brahman, I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. Everything here is created by me, Maya Kalpitam. Now, when we are saying that I am Brahman and everything is created by me, the way we have to reflect upon it is not think of yourself as some great being that is sitting out there and that has created this whole world. Not like that. It is not a physical creation. In your dream, you create something. Okay? In the dream, actually, in the dream, you create everything. Ashesham maya kalpitam. Ashesham. There is no, in the dream, there is nothing that is not created by you. Correct? Everything is created by you. The you in the dream is also created by you. But do you take a lot of pride saying that, oh, I created this dream? You don't take pride and you don't get up in the morning and go and publish a paper on it saying that I created this dream. And you put a patent on it saying it is my dream. We don't do that. Why don't we do that? Because we know it is avidyaya. It is born out of a particular state of ignorance within me, which is what I am half asleep. I have not gone into full deep sleep. I am not fully awake. I'm somewhere in between. And in that state, which I am not aware of my state, I am not aware of my state. I am creating these imaginations. I'm creating these images and events and incidents. So there is no glory and there is no greatness of you creating the dream. In the same way, Adi Shankara here, when he says it is all created by me, this whole Jagat is created by me, he is not taking the position of a God who has created this world. So it is not a super conscious being, because our minds are constrained to think of material. Our minds are constrained to think of matter. So when we think about it, somebody has created this. So if I say I have created this, then I am the Lord. I have greater powers to be able to create this. But it's not in that sense. It is not in the sense of creating material things. Of course, there are yogic ways, there are powers that people gather, yogic powers one can gather by doing yoga sadhana to attain some powers over the Panchabhutas. When you get some of that powers over the Panchabhutas, you can do some of these things, right? You can pull out something from the air, you can create something, you can whatever, all of these material things you can take a little mastery over, and you can do this. But that is not what is spoken about. And even if you take mastery, can you create a world like Vishwamitra created a whole heaven for Trishanku? Trishanku Raja, he created a whole heaven because he was not allowed in the heaven. And Vishwamitra had given him a promise that I will send you with the body to heaven. And heaven, they didn't allow him. And Vishwamitra, he couldn't let Trishanku come back because it is a loss of face for Vishwamitra. He created a heaven for him and told Trishanku, this is your heaven, you be there. I have created one for you. To that extent, there are yogic abilities people have gathered to do. They can create a whole new world. But we are not talking about that. We are talking about our own world. Who creates our own world? We create our world. This is what is pointed out here. We create our own world. Our world is created by me. My world is created by me. Maya kalpitam. It is, although here in Vedanta he is saying that all of this is illusion. It is as though it is created. It's like the dream. In the dream, there is no real creation that is happening. It is as though kalpitam, kalpana. It is by imagination alone that it is existing. So he extends that to our waking, that which we call as waking, to say that this is also in the similar way a reflection or an imagination only. But how do we use this information for us is to say my world is created by me. Nobody else is responsible for my world. Nobody else can create my world. People who come, situations that come, events that happen, whatever happens, it is happening for me, by me. Because I'm in a particular way. See, how long does it take for Prahlada to become like everybody else? He was an Asura Putra. How long does it take him to become like all the other Asura Putras? He was the son of the king of Asuras. And in fact, at that time, Hiranyakashipu had won over the three worlds. So he was also the king of heavens. He was also the king of Patala Loka. He was the son of such a great king. But he stuck to what his definition of his world was. His world was Narayana. His world was bhakti. His world was devotion to his Lord. His world, he believed, and he, with immense faith, he carried that. This is my world. So his association with the outside world was very different than the association others had with the outside world. His mother's association with the world was different. His father's association with the world is different. His friends' association with the world is different. Other people in the family and the court, their association with the world is different. His association was different. Does it mean he was not given troubles? Does it mean he was not given problems? Does it mean he was always on a rose petal waterbed, floating and relaxing? He was not lying down, relaxing, watching television and comfortably, oh Narayana, the wonderful life you have given me. No. He had the most amount of troubles and problems that no child possibly has gone through. He was put to death multiple times. Which child gets put to death so many times? a 5, 6, 7-year-old child. He was put to death. But still he created his own world. This is what is meant here. You create your own world through Sankalpa. Your world right now is created by Trigunaya and by the Avidya. Avidyaya Trigunaya Ashesham Maya Kalpitam. This whole world that has been created right now for me is through my ignorance. Thinking that I am this body, I am this mind, I am so and so person, I live here, I am belonging to this person, I am bound by this person, I have to be responsible for this, I have to be accountable for this, I have to be a particular way, I have to be this, that, and the other. All of these definitions that we put on ourselves, whatever definitions we put, all of these definitions we are bound by, and all of this is out of ignorance. The question can be, what is the problem? There is no problem if you are happy. Vedanta is not required for somebody who is absolutely blissful and joyful. Not required at all. Scriptural studies, spiritual studies, all of this is not required for somebody who is joyful and happy. Doesn't mean that today I am joyful and happy, I don't need Vedanta, I don't need scriptures or spiritual studies. Tomorrow I am down and I need it. It's not like that. If you know how to be blissful and joyful within you, none of this is required. If you know how to be blissful and joyful, irrespective of the conditions on the outside, irrespective of the conditions of your mind, irrespective of the conditions of the environment, the tapatraya, adi bhuta, adi daiva, adhyatma, all of these obstacles, none of these obstacles bother you. Like how Shani Bhagavan came to Vinayaka, Ganesha, and he said, I have held everybody in my clutches for 7.5 years. I will hold you at least for 7.5 days or 7.5 minutes. So he comes and he says, no problem, you can do it. But today I am busy. Come tomorrow. He says, how can I trust you? Say, okay, write on my back that I will come tomorrow. So Shani Bhagavan writes on Ganesha's back, I will come again tomorrow. So then goes, next day Shani Bhagavan comes. Then Ganesha looks at him, what do you want now? No, you told me yesterday, no, come tomorrow. I've come, see what I've written yesterday, I've written. So Ganesha says, yeah, you have written come tomorrow. So come tomorrow, no, why have you come today? So if we have the ability to escape this, so what it means is, of course, cleverly Ganesha got rid of.
ஒரு சின்ன ஸ்டோரி ஒண்ணு படிச்சேன், குட்டியா ஒரு ஸ்டோரி படிச்சேன். அதாவது பார்வதி ரொம்ப அழகா ஒரு பங்களா கட்டுறாளாம். அத சனி சொல்றாரா, இது பண்ணும், பார்வதி பிடிக்கணும், ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு இந்த பங்களா கட்டாதேன்னு. பட் அவ சொல்றாளா, நமக்கு சிவன் இருக்கும்போது என் பக்கத்துல நானே இவ்வளவு தூரம் பண்ணும்போது ஹூ இஸ் கோயிங் டு ஸ்டாப் மீ, ஐ வாண்ட் இட் லைக் திஸ். நல்லா ரொம்ப அழகா பண்றாளாம். சனீஸ்வரன் சொல்றாராம், சரி பரவாயில்ல, பகவானே இவ்வளவு சொல்லும் போது நான் ஒண்ணும் பண்ண முடியாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒதுங்கி போறாராம். அப்போ பார்வதி சொல்றாராம், சரி சிவ சொன்னாராம், அப்ப நான் போறேன் வெளியில, நான் போயிட்டு சனீஸ்வரன்ட்ட பேசுறேன், நான் உன்னை தொந்தரவு பண்ணாதேன்னு சொல்றேன் அவன்கிட்ட. அவன் இஃப் ஹி லிசன்ஸ் டு மீ இட்ஸ் ஓகே, நான் அங்கேருந்து ஒரு சம்மதம் கொடுத்தானா அங்கேருந்து நான் என்னோட இதை ப்ளோ பண்றேன், கையில வச்சிருந்த இதை வச்சு ப்ளோ பண்றேன், அந்த ப்ளோ சத்தத்தை கேட்டாக்க எவ்ரி திங் இஸ் ஓகே, நீ பண்ணிடும், இல்லைன்னா இல்ல ப்ளோஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்றான். ப்ளோஸ் சத்தத்தை கேட்டா இடிச்சிரு, சரியில்லை, சனி ஒத்துக்கலன்னு அர்த்தம் அப்படிங்கிறாராம். அது சொன்ன உடனே இப்ப என்ன பண்ணா சரின்னு போயிடுறா. பார்வதி ஷீஸ் ஆன் ஹர் பூஜா டூ எவ்ரி திங். சனீஸ்வரனோட போய் பேசும்போது அவர் சொல்றான், அது எப்படி நான் விட முடியும், என்னோட டியூட்டி நீங்க கொடுத்தது தானே, நான் நிக்க முடியாதுன்னு. பட் அவர் சிவன் சொல்றாராம், அப்படி எப்படிப்பா பண்ண முடியும், நீ என்னையே பிடிக்காது, பார்வதி இஸ் ஆஃப் ஆல் தேவிஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி எல்லாம் சமாதானம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது, சரி நீங்களே சொல்லிட்டே நான் விட்டுறேன் பரவாயில்ல அப்படின்னு. அப்போ இப்ப சொல்றான், கடைசியில சொல்றான், சரி நீங்க போகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி எனக்கு ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம் உங்கள்கிட்ட பார்க்கணும், உங்களோட ஒரு நர்த்தனத்தை பார்க்கணும், அந்த நர்த்தன போஸ காமிச்சுட்டு ஒரு தடவை எனக்கு போங்கன்னு. நர்த்தன போஸ பண்ணும் போது சிவன் என்ன பண்றாரு, அந்த கையில இருந்து எடுத்து ப்ளோ பண்ணிடுறாராம். உடனே பார்வதி அங்க இடிச்சு போட்டுறா. இப்ப சிவன் வந்து சொன்னாராம், சனி ஒத்துண்டானே, என்னத்துக்கு நீ போட்டு இடிச்சு போட்டுட்ட, நான் வந்து பார்த்து எல்லாத்தையும் சத்துரு இடிச்சுட்டியே நீ. இல்லையே நீங்க தானே ப்ளோ பண்ணீங்க உங்களோட ப்ளோவர் வச்சு. சரி எனக்கு அந்த சத்தம் கேட்டுதான் இடிச்சுட்டேன். சனீஸ்வரனை யாராலையும் ஏமாத்த முடியாது அப்படின்னு குட்டி
Correct.
ஸ்டோரி.
True. So yeah, that is usually conventional. This thing is Shani. You cannot escape Shani. But the point of escaping Shani is Shani essentially is looked upon as somebody who brings you troubles. A lot of times, like my guru's guru, Parama Guru will say that struggles and troubles are given to you so that you grow spiritually. And that is, we have to take it that way. If you don't, then it'll, as we always say, that whether you turn an experience into a wisdom or a wound, if you take it as a wound, then it'll remain as a sore experience. But you turn it into wisdom, then it'll definitely help you grow. This is what Shanishwara offers. That's conventional understanding. But what we say by escaping Shani is, even if something that is there in your planetary condition, your situation, your in whatever this thing that you have to go through some difficulties and pains, how do you deal with it? How are you inside you? This is what is spoken about. And if I'm able to be in that, I don't need any Vedanta, I don't need any scriptures. If I'm able to be in a blissful state, irrespective of whatever condition that comes, I'm able to evade difficulties. Means difficulties will come physically, mentally, it will come, but it doesn't disturb me entirely. It doesn't change me. Transformation for the good is a good thing, which means you go through a transformation, the spiritual understanding, spiritual transformation is a good thing. But if difficulties transform you into a bitter person, into a very cautious person, into a very untrusting person, you become all of that, an unkind person, because life has given you a lot of difficulties. That is not a good transformation. Right? So he's saying this whole creation has come out of me. This creation has come out of me means I create my own world. So then now you go to this point saying Aham Brahmasmi. So he's saying Aham Brahmasmi means what in this case? I am that Brahman. There is no Brahman sitting out there. See, it is beautiful when you think about the personal God. The same Adi Shankara talks about Anand Saundarya Lahiri. Same Adi Shankara talks about Shivananda Lahiri. And also talks about Aham Brahmasmi. So what it means is there is, when you're wanting to enjoy the joys of bhakti and devotion, there is a personal God. Think about Bhagavan in the Ananta Shayana. Think about him beyond the universe, standing there creating the universe. Think of it like that. That's all okay. But also come to the fact or get to an understanding that you don't need those images as adhara. You don't need those images to be peaceful within yourself. You don't need them. Those images are beautiful because it gives you a calming, it calms you down, it makes you feel comfortable, it gives you a sense of comfort, it gives you a sense of protection. There is a Bhagavan, he's there taking care of me. All of that is beautiful. But also realize that when you're saying Aham Brahmasmi or I am this, I am here, I am present, without any support, can you be peaceful within yourself? So this Vakya, this Aham Brahmasmi or this particular verse, Brahmaiva Ahamidam Jagatcha Sakalam, this verse is the Guru's experience that he is communicating. Guru is communicating his experience. It's called Anubhava Vakya. The experience of the Guru is communicating, saying, I am experiencing this Parabrahman within myself as myself. I am not bringing material matter into the conversation at all. Think about yourself. This is an exercise we should do. When you're doing meditation, sit down and just close your eyes. And when you're in this joy of meditation, you may not be able to do it at that time, but later think about it. That joy of meditation, were you incomplete or were you complete? Whenever you experience that joy of meditation, you will always experience a sense of completeness, a sense of fulfillment. It doesn't stay. That is a different problem. And which is why we are doing sadhana practice, repeated repetition of all of that, and bringing the mind to that place where it naturally settles in. But whenever it settles in, don't you feel a sense of completeness? Purnatvam. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate. That Purnatvam experience we all experience. What is that Purnatvam experience? Which means I don't need anything else to feel complete. I don't need anything else. This recognition is Aham Brahmasmi. The recognition that I don't require something else to be complete. I am fulfilled within myself. I am the creator of my own world. Right now, the world I have created is out of the ignorance that I carry about myself, my identity, my people, my world, my this thing. I've created this identity that I've created is out of ignorance. It is out of Rajas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, the Triguna. But in myself, within me, there is a sense of completion. Within me, there is an absolute sense of quiet, a sense of no lacking. This we've all experienced. We experience depending on how you are, what is your state of your mind and condition, we experienced it to that duration of time. Some experience for longer duration, some experience for shorter duration, but we all get this experience. And it is not something to be it is not an extraordinary thing. It is a very ordinary thing. Which is why when you say Aham Brahmasmi, somebody went to a Mahatma saying Aham Brahmasmi. And the Mahatma, he told the Mahatma that, isn't this so egoistic? You're telling you are Brahman. So then the Mahatma says, no, I don't want to say it, but what to do? I am. Mahatma responds saying, yeah, I don't want to say it, but what to do? I am Brahman. Which means the experience is so rooted that the words may seem on the outside that this person is being egoistic. But that is again from the world of matter, from the material world. When you're seeing somebody coming and saying, Aham Brahmasmi, it seems like an egoistic statement. But in the Mahatma's experience and that spiritually realized person's experience, he's saying, that is what I am. It's very ordinary. It is not an extraordinary experience. It is very ordinary, but it's extraordinarily joyful. It is a joy that surpasses the joys that we've experienced. And so all other joys become small. When does your spiritual pursuit or your spiritual sadhana become central to your life, your spiritual personality, that I am spiritual, this personality that you are defining becomes central, is when you have tasted little bit of this. When you have tasted it and you know that there is some joy that is far beyond all of the joys of the world. Whether you have somebody, whether you don't have, whether you get this, you don't get this, where somebody looks at you, doesn't look at you, somebody acknowledges you, doesn't acknowledge you. Under all conditions, if you realize that this joy that is there can be experienced under all conditions, you may have difficulties, but yet you can experience this joy within. Nivrittinatha told Jnaneshwar this. Nivrittinatha, everybody was asking Jnaneshwara. I remember speaking about this in one of the satsangs. Gayatri also took note of it. Where people around, this was the time when Muslim invasions and Muslim atrocities were happening in Maharashtra. Large parts of India, but in Maharashtra at that time, because that is the time when the Peshwas and the Marathas stood up against the atrocities. This was the time when Jnaneshwar and his family was living in Maharashtra. And they were doing their bhajans, their satsang, kirtan, and all of that. And people around came and asked the amount of atrocities that are happening around. How can you even expect somebody to believe that there is a God? Women are getting raped, children are getting killed, men are getting hanged, houses are being burned down, ransacked. And it's all happening in our neighborhood. In our experience, we can see atrocities happening here. How can you even expect someone to believe that there is a God? To that, Nivrittinatha says, when you sit down and close, if there is somebody who's able to, even amidst this, if somebody is able to sit down for 5 minutes, for 2 minutes, for 1 minute, for whatever period of time, you're able to close your eyes and experience that joy and peace within. There is whole ruckus and drama and chaos happening around you. But within me, I'm able to experience that joy and completion and that fulfillment. And he says that is the experience of Bhagavan. That is the experience of God. That is proof enough to say that there is a God that exists. Because for you to get this experience, he says, for you to get this experience, you cannot get it without the grace of God. So this, what we experience within as Brahman, we call it different names, Brahman or Paramatma. These are big names. And suddenly when you use these names, we distance ourselves from that. No, we are saying, I take full responsibility of myself. I take complete accountability of who I am, what I am, how I am. This whole creation, this world is my doing. My experiences are my doing. My joys, sorrows, struggles, whatever is my doing. Right now, right here, I can completely detach myself from everything. There may be forces that may come and start affecting, influencing me, and it could be whatever forces. Seen forces, unseen forces can come. But if I go into that within me with conviction, Manisha, Esha, Manisha, Mama, that conviction has to be very strong. Nothing can bother me, nothing can touch me. Like how Narasimha hugs Prahlada in that movie. Those who have seen the movie, it's like it melts you that moment. From moment Narsimha, when Prahlada, Narsimha is so terrifyingly angry after killing Hiranyakashipu, everybody, all devatas try to come and control. Narasimha is not being controlled. Then Prahlada himself goes and says, Prabhu, calm down. And the moment he sees him, immediately anger drops and he hugs him. Very beautiful. It's very, very beautiful, endearing scene. Now, when you feel that, nothing can touch me, and you're convinced about it. Now you keep looking around, oh, what is bothering me? What is bothering me? Who is bothering me? How is something bothering me? What should I do? What should I do? You can do all of that, but inside build that strong conviction, nothing can touch me. You will automatically feel that there is a shield that is created around you. When whatever forces try to come and bother you and touch you, it will not be successful. So this is how we recognize Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. I am that. You're not saying I am the creator of this world. No, I am that principle that is pulsating in everything and everywhere, and I am here. I am complete. The sensation of I am complete is the experience of Aham Brahmasmi. And that experience, we all have had it. We can all have it. We just have to, with faith and conviction, continue to pursue. Continue to pursue relentlessly. So this verse, Adi Shankara Singh, Brahma eva aham idam, Jagat cha chakalam chinmatra vistaritam. This whole world of creation has come out from chitmatra vistaritam, the expansion of my consciousness, as though like a dream. This whole thing has come out. This world is created by me. I create this world. If I am fearful, things that are going to induce fear in me is going to come to me. We have all experienced this. We have all experienced some kind of magic in our lives. How does that happen? It is when you are sorted. Whenever there are times when you are sorted within you, you will see beautiful things happen to you. In the most unexpected way, it happens. And then we say that, oh, this is the grace of God. It is not the grace, of course, the grace of God, but it is your ability to stay in a sorted way within yourself. Invites that grace. Like Ramana tells, somebody goes to Ramana and asks him, Bhagavane, give me grace. Give me your grace. Bhagavan Ramana says, grace is the only thing that is there. He says in Tamil, Arul dane pa irukku, nee nadula varama irundha porum. He says, you don't come in between. Grace is always flowing. You don't come in between. You means you with your whole storyline that you carry. I am so and so. I am this. I am that. I am that. I am having this. I am having that. All that story, don't bring that story in between. All you will experience is only grace. See, these are Mahavakyas made by Mahatmas, and it can't be wrong. Apta Vakya. These are all called as Apta Vakyas, which means these are coming from their innermost experience of truth. And we can be in that space. We can be in that space of that truth. We can. All it takes is persistence. See, imagine people build lives over 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. You live, you work, you earn, you build, you create a family, you do so much work and effort that we put, right? So much effort we put. How much do we put in this for spiritual growth? Everything else, we have a reason and we have a justification to say we have to put so much effort. But for spiritual, this thing, it is a side thing. Ganesha Chaturthi, 10 days, oh, and then done. Navaratri, oh, 9 days, and done. Janmashtami, that one night, that one evening, all part time. So when you do this part time, effects will be part time. Make it central to your life without a choice. And then you see the magic. And then there'll be, because it is the truth, there'll be nothing to complain about. This is the truth. So Adi Shankara is saying, Brahmaivahamidam jagatcha sakalam chitmatra vistaritam sarvam cha etat avidyaya trigunaya ashesham maya kalpitam. It is all entirely, all of this is created by me. Entirely. Itham yasya dridha mati sukhatare. The one who is absolutely clear in this understanding. Sukhatare. He is in this joy which is beyond the joys of the material joys. Nitye pare nirmale. Continuously existing in this joy. Such a person, chandalostu satu dvijostu, even if he's a chandala or a dvija or a brahmin. Guruhu iti esha manisha mama. Such a person is my guru, is my firm conviction. So with that we pause today. Om kayena vacha manasendriyerva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai narayanayati samarpayami. सदाशिवायति समर्पयामि जगदम्बिकेति समर्पयामि सद्गुरुनाथायति समर्पयामि हरि ओम तत्सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम गुरुदेवा